Hello and welcome to another episode of Idol Stan Nation. I'm one of your hosts, Jaehoon, and joining me is Nick and Aura.
What's up?
Hello.
Alright, so for this episode, we'll be going back to our original 1 hour length episodes, and we'll be doing it as a 1 week release. So don't worry, you'll still get your weekly fix of Idol Stan Nation. And for this episode, we've got quite a few things to talk about. So we'll be talking about some TXT fandom naming controversy, BlackPink getting hit with the ban hammer by KBS. But before all that, we'll start with Fancy by Twice. So, Aura, my hype man, go ahead and get started.
Fancy was amazing. Oh my gosh. It was fancy. Like, surprising. So, how should I say this? It's, yeah. I don't know how to put it into words right now.
Alright, so while Aura is getting herself collected, let me go ahead and pick up from there. So Fancy came back with a more of a mature, still pop concept, and it was definitely great. I loved it personally, and it still had quite a bit of that signature Twice cuteness, but it wasn't like that overtly bubblegum cutesy concept that we got used to with Cheer Up and Likey. So I think it was a very good, a very nice direction that they're taking, and with their previous comebacks, it was actually all alluding up to this comeback right now. So That's a Night Away coming off of what was it?
What is Love?
What is Love? Yes. So That's a Night Away. It was still cute, right? It was still very cute, very fresh for that summer concept, but it was less like super cutesy as opposed to like Knock Knock and Likey and whatnot. So there they were kind of toning down on that cutesiness, right? And then we had BDZ for their Japanese comeback, which
like a bulldozer.
and so a lot of the fandom, the Once fandom, they saw the preview shots and they were expecting a girl crush concept. Well, for a lot, anyways. So, a lot of people were really let down by BDZ being more more bubblegum pop. And then after that came Yes or Yes, which was still in the bubblegum pop realm, but was more leaning into that mature concept, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, so, sorry, I'm going to interrupt, but, because another thing to add with this was that, yes, while they did debut as a bubblegum pop, people were kind of hoping that they were going to follow a little bit of the SNSD route, because around this time, at the 2.5 year mark, SNSD switched to a more mature route, so everybody thought it was more about time to switch to a more mature route for Twice, because it's what they had already hit their 3-year mark. They thought, okay, they should be changing more concept because they're growing up. So,
yeah, which Sony today they did experiment with that with Run Double Run. It was 2010. So and that was
2.5 years
into their
2.5 years.
So that was 2.5 years into their career. So for Twice,
it's
they already
3.5 years.
Exactly, it's 3.5 years, and they had already started leaning into it. I would say starting from DTNA, where That's a Night Away, where it just kind of toned back a little bit on the cutesiness, and then progressively scaled it towards the more mature side, going to Yes or Yes, and then The Best Thing I Ever Did, which it's kind of hard to count that because that's more of a Christmas special.
Yep.
But all of that leads us to where we're at today with Fancy, and I think it's great. It's it's still got that signature Twice feel to it. So
So I mean, I did have a few concerns because I believe during a few interviews or whatever, some things that they've released where they said, we're going to use more CGI. I saw a couple of the teasers where they did a lot of fast cuts, and that made me concerned. I was like, I hope that they're not going to do like a crazy amount of fast cuts or overdo it with CG, because you and we've had problems with how we feel about the overuse of CG in some music videos.
Yeah,
But
which I don't know. I would say half the time we end up disagreeing, but the other half
yeah,
of the time we do agree on quite a bit.
yeah. So
So
I was pleasantly surprised at how well that they used the CGI. How well like they didn't use too much of the cutting.
yeah,
It was actually at a slower pace compared to the teasers that they released, I believe, the day or the morning of the release, or
yeah.
before the release.
Real quick, Nick, you said that you were a bit more lukewarm to this music video, right?
Yeah. It's still a Twice song, and so I'm always gonna be at minimum, okay with a Twice song, because they're still like a group that I stand and they like I enjoy the music from. It just, for me, it didn't really have that Twice feel of like. So Twice's big allure when I started getting into them was even if you love it and even if you hate it, it's gonna be stuck in your head.
The catchiness.
That's how
Right.
That's how Twice works. And I just feel like it wasn't like that this time. I mean, I've listened to it quite a few times now, and it's not like TT where I've listened to TT a lot, but you ask me any day of the week, any time of the day, and I'll be able to sing you the main lyric from TT, the chorus, But with Fancy, I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like it was that catchy.
So wait,
I
So
felt like they strayed away from that.
so Chaeyoung going fancy, ooh,
Fancy.
didn't get stuck in your head?
It did not.
Oh my god, what's wrong with you?
So I have to agree with Nick on this, but Fancy isn't getting stuck in my head. But I still love the imagery. The costumes were beautiful, but I have to agree with Nick on that, where it didn't get stuck in my head.
And I mean, it's nothing against that. It's just, it might be the song. It might be that now because I'm doing this, I'm looking a lot more into the music theory side of things.
Yeah. That is kind of a trap that we've fallen into since we started this project. In fact, you may have noticed when you watched some of our older episodes, we did fall into that trap of like we just wanted to like overanalyze everything, especially for Aura and I.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we
And
gotta stop
that's
using our
one of the
brains.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of times, I think it was, I want to say starting with IZ*ONE's Skito e Wasetai. I started trying to just watch the video first, like just watch it with an open heart, right, and not like try and dissect and watch for every single detail. That way, that kind of establishes like that initial feel, like how I initially feel about a song. And after that, that's when I'll like watch it on repeat so I can get the finer details that I missed, because I always get someone will come up on screen like Taehyung when she came on screen with her like she was like kind of like laid down, right, with her hair sprawled out, like that just blew me away. And then it was just like a constant like barrage on my eyes and my heart, and like so many details got missed that way. So I had to watch it multiple times so I can catch all the minute details.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with videos, but the problem is that I don't know, something about this just wasn't quite there for me. It almost felt like it was missing something from that normal, to give me that normal Twice feel. I mean, it's in my opinion, it's not as catchy as their earlier music.
It's probably with the beat. So because the what was missing from this song that we are typically used to with previous Twice songs is it has a more subdued beat to it, like because like even with Knock Knock or Heart Shaker, there was still a very like omnipresent beat in the song that kind of like carried you through the song. With Fancy, it was more subdued on that aspect, and I kind of felt like rather than trying to carry you through the song, it was more like holding your hand through the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not entirely. I don't disagree with that. Definitely, I don't know. I just feel like it just wasn't as Twice as I'd prefer it to be. Almost like they took a piece out of their normal music rather than actually like adding a different depth or concept. I feel like they more stripped it down.
So I feel like I felt like they started more gearing towards a little bit of what they did in the past with UA.
Yep.
Because similar to UA, I didn't feel like it had anything catchy to that. It was Signal that it started getting those Signal or TT that started getting the catchy lines. But no, I felt like it was a little bit more closer to the UA era. Just less zombies in this case, more mature, and just a little bit, because you notice that between UA and Fancy, a lot of the lighting, all the tones are a lot brighter, but when you compare UA and Fancy together, they have a darker color scheme. It's a more mature color scheme, but I feel like they took the experience
with the outfits that they wore too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did see a bit of those, the same style with BDZ, but again, like the imagery of the song itself really offset a lot of that.
Yeah, it did give a big gap between the imagery you saw in BDZ versus the song itself.
Exactly. Whereas with this, it was a lot more complimentary, I thought. And
right.
In the teaser shots that we saw, I was actually a little worried at first because we'd seen, starting from the last quarter of last year, Girl Crush being the thing, right? Everybody was doing Girl Crush, and I was wondering, like, okay, so is this where Twice finally makes the jump to Girl Crush, and how am I going to react to this? Is this going to crash hard on me, or am I going to like it?
I'm so happy they didn't go the Girl Crush route.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same because rather than following the trends, they're setting off to do something more along of what they want to do, and that's because something's trendy.
Exactly. Very, very similar to how I hate bringing this up because while it's kind of like a similar way that SNSD went, where SNSD did try out new song styles, I felt like this was a good move. It was
even more interesting too is the level of involvement of the members too.
Right. What was it? 3 or 4 of the songs. Jiho,
Sana,
Momo, Sana, and Chaeyoung all wrote songs for this mini album, and that's simply amazing.
Or at the very least, wrote the lyrics to the songs.
Right.
So,
right.
And so yeah, in fact, that's a good segue to the album itself. So this is the first time I actually previewed an album off of Spotify prior to actually physically receiving the album in the mail.
Same.
And my God, I was blown away.
I hate you. You made me like you and Bang was like just saying how amazing the album was. It broke me. I hate you guys so much.
Is it not an amazing album?
Oh, it is gorgeous. I love there were 2 songs that especially stuck out. It was the second track, I don't remember what it was called, and the track that Sana wrote. Obviously, since I'm a Sana stan, I'm always gonna love whatever she wrote. But no, it's really good. I do recommend.
Have you had a chance to sample the album yet, Nick?
I have not.
Man, you need to stop slacking, man.
Well, yeah, between Frumis, right, and well, actually, just because of Frumis at this point, I've been really invested in them, so I really haven't had a chance to listen to the album yet. I'll get on it though. Want to segue that though. Twice is now the best-selling girl group of all time in Korea.
Yeah, they broke a 20-year standing record by SES.
Yep.
So that's
and they're going to just keep going too. That's the crazy part. I mean, the top 5 currently is Twice, SES, SNSD, Finkel, and then Baby Vox.
Yep. Yeah, and so for those of you who don't know, Finkel, Baby Vox, and SES are first gen girl groups. They debuted 1998, 1999, and I believe 2000 for Baby Vox. I'm gonna have to go back and check on
I
that.
think so.
But yeah, they debuted right around the time that I got into K-pop. So
And SNSD debuted in 2007. So
as a second gen girl group, yep.
exactly. So it's been about 12 years since another girl group has broken another record like that, right?
Yeah. So
Yes, and so it's going to be crazy to see when because it'll inevitably happen when Twice disbands. It's going to be crazy to see what their album record sales are going to be at that point.
Don't say that.
Every group disbands
at some point, yeah. And then they come back
Eventually.
like SES did. They made a at their 20-year anniversary, they reformed for an album, and I don't think it sold that well.
Oof. Yeah. So I mean, it'll be crazy to really see like what that totals up to, especially with like the growth of K-pop.
Oh yeah,
from third gen.
yeah, because during the first gen, K-pop for its overseas presence was more present in China, and was making inroads into Japan at the time.
Right, because that was the first Hallyu Wave, right?
Yeah, the first Hallyu Wave was in 1996. In fact, that's where
Yeah.
the term got coined, but was by the Chinese media outlets. They called it the Hallyu
Right.
Wave. And then
in like what 2015 was started the third gen Hallyu Wave, right?
for the third gen, yes.
Yeah.
But there was also like other like mini waves prior to that. So, but yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, so with the huge growth in markets, right, and especially with all these inroads we made into the world's largest market, the U.S. market, I foresee Twice establishing a very difficult record to break, and the next group that breaks that record, my God, that will be, you're talking about like billions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Well, with because so something about Fancy You is I showed my non-K-pop fans Fancy You, and they always trying to get interested. So with Fancy You, I think could definitely open up more people to K-pop as well, because
Yeah, I mean that's because of the American tendency to lean towards more mature concepts.
right.
Yeah, they don't really latch on to like Americans in general don't really latch on to bubblegum concepts. Not since like
Right.
what was it, like Britney Spears back in like 1999.
Oh, don't bring that up.
And
No.
even that was still like a little on the smutty side.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a good time for us to move on, right?
Yeah, let's get
yeah.
on to the next segment.
All right, so TXT and Big Hit recently introduced their fandom name, which is great in every aspect. As a group, they should have a fandom name.
Right,
The problem is that they decided that it would be the best course of action to name their fandom Young Ones. Now, to anyone that has been in K-pop for a while, I guess their fandom name is Young One. To anyone that's been in K-pop for a while, you know that Young Ones is taken, and that is Tiffany's fandom name.
Yay, Tiffany!
And Tiffany's fandom name is Young Ones, which TXT then kind of came out and said, it can also be translated in the Korean word Youngwon. Ji-hoon, correct me on pronunciation if I'm garbage at that, but which basically means forever.
Yeah.
And Tiffany's fandom name, the problem is that Tiffany's fandom name also uses that Korean interpretation.
Yep.
And so everyone's been on Twitter, of course, because Twitter's the outlet for everybody ages 12 to 19, just utterly bashing Big Hit and TXT. TXT less than Big Hit, of course, because it's not really TXT's choice.
Yeah. Right.
Let's be real here. And so what happened is that Tiffany and her agency responded to it saying, Transparent Arts responded to it saying, thank you, for your support, Young Ones. And with Love and Positivity, we're gonna look into this.
Yeah. Well, so as a young ones myself, as a big Tiffany fan, she is because so she's not like blowing it out of proportion. Obviously, her and her agency are really doing a good job not trying to blow it up or like basically being mean about it. Because Tiffany's been in the industry for 12 years now, and you know she's not gonna make a big stink about it because well that would look bad. But I still think TXT should change their name as one of the young ones. At least that's my opinion.
Right. Yeah. So, as the young ones as well, I have an issue with this. It's
Wait, which young ones are you talking about?
young ones.
Yeah, which one are you?
I'm not a fan of TXT.
Oh, okay.
I don't like stan TXT. So like as you know, as part of the young ones, I don't agree. I think this should have been like well thought out in advance, right?
Right.
You know, someone had to do some research.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not like come on, man. It's not rocket science with a star that's as big as Tiffany. It's evident nobody did research. Nobody like looked through and was like, "Hey, you know, this is probably not a good idea." Big Hit was just like, "Ah, yeah, that's fine."
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I guess the safe thing to say is whoever was on that team that came up with that name, there wasn't any Tiffany fans among them.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I doubt it. Well, I wouldn't doubt it, but you know, things happen.
But so yeah, and like I guess Tiffany's fans have been going ballistic on Twitter, of course.
As fans
everyone's as fans do. You know, this is essentially a fan war at this point, and you know, obviously everyone's demanding answers from Big Hit. The problem is that Big Hit has not released any official statements. They've gone silent.
How long has it been now?
This all started.
Was it Wednesday?
This all started almost 2 days ago now.
Yeah, it hasn't been a big. It hasn't been that long, so. But yeah, it's.
But when your brand new rookie group is going up against or is essentially has the same fandom name, I'm going to call it the same. There's the difference of one S, but I'm going to call it the same fandom name.
Yeah.
As Tiffany Young, I'm looking like the second I hear this, I'm looking at like getting a statement out that day if I'm a CEO.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because
Right.
for that kind of stuff, something like this, timing is absolutely important. Like if you don't respond right away, it really sends the impression of you don't care. You know, go pound sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really and it also lets the group TXT further become victims. You know, they're going to take all these hits from the netizens on this.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, TXT is innocent here. You know, they literally get told by the company, "All right, this is what the fandom name is,"
Right.
and they're like, "Oh, okay," and they have no room to say anything about it.
Yep.
And the problem with that is that because it's TXT and it's Big Hit's group TXT and it's their fan base, they take the hits for it.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
on top of that, with them just debuting, they don't have a cemented fan base yet.
Oh no, yeah, they a group like this that had just debuted, they can't afford
Controversy like
to take a controversy
Yeah.
like this. Yeah.
And so, a lot of people are asking them, like, while yes, okay, as there always will be in fan wars, there are some fans that are going to very far extremes with unkind words, but a lot of fans are just saying, "Yo, it's cool, just change the name."
Which is where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm like, give us a statement, change the name, and we're cool. Because Tiffany's had called her fans young ones since September.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not like a new thing that Tiffany just started doing,
Yeah, it'd be more understandable if, like, oh yeah, I announced it last week. Oh, no, we announced ours. Oh, we so happen to have the same thing after we announced it a week apart. But this is, almost half a year now.
Yeah, it's
Well,
been more than half a year.
And
So.
and on top of that, like I would even find it fine if TXT was even debuted by the time she started naming her fans that, but it just
Right.
isn't like that. They weren't debuted yet.
No, they
So,
debuted what
even
last
having
month?
yeah, so even having a fandom name, like there's no way they picked their fandom name before September of last year.
No.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so, like, coming down to that, I mean, no one did research, and on top of that, it's like there's no way that your group makes it out alive if you don't change it. Honestly,
So
Yeah.
even a group or even a company as powerful as Big Hit, and anyone that wants to fight me can fight me. Big Hit's a powerful company. They have BTS. Come on now. Anyway, any company, even one like Big Hit, where they have arguably the most popular K-pop group that I know of or that's ever been around, even they're subject to a dying group of controversy like this.
right.
Oh yeah. Controversies being mismanaged can break a group fairly quickly, or at the very least
Right.
lead them to that slippery downhill slope.
Right. And so, going into this, I think that them not responding so far is approaching it in a very bad way.
Oh yeah, especially for being such a young group that can't afford these kind of things either. So
Right. And I mean, it's
It's unfortunate
worrying
timing.
'cause, I mean, whatever happens with this won't affect BTS.
No.
yeah,
BTS
So
is
They're
way too big.
they're too worldwide for that.
right.
And so, they're too powered, like, for lack of a better word, powerful, well known, but it will definitely affect Big Hit, and they're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, being
This
realistic though,
controversy won't blow over either.
yeah, I see TXT. It is possible for them to bounce back from this, or it's also very, very possible that they don't bounce back from this. Big Hit, I see this blowing over, like in the next few months. Like everyone will forget about it by probably like September, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
But fandom always can make it worse too. So
yeah, I mean, and don't hold that grudge, but
no.
I mean, let's be real.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Like Big Hit with BTS having such a huge fan base. Any kind of fan war, you'd be stupid to get into a fan war with armies.
And so this could actually, if Big Hit just throws it under the rug, this could be compromising to their Korean sales.
Well, so the thing is though, like those highly scrutinizing fans that you're talking about, they're actually a very like
They're a
small
minority.
The thing is,
Oh
like,
yeah, I know.
They were
those
just
small
loud.
minorities are just the loudest ones. Exactly. So you can have like this 1% crowd who is generating like 99% of the noise, whereas like the 99% of everyone else who are more moderate, they'll still do their thing and buy albums and whatnot. So it's really easy to point your lens at like the brightest burning fire, which is that rabid fan base. But let's not overestimate their impact on the market share.
Right. I just mean that, like, for the most part, they weren't like a outrageously selling group. It for lack of a better like comparison, they weren't ITZY.
Yes, but with
Where
BTS, now that they have such a huge Western fan base now, that Western fan base can carry them really.
Hopefully.
Well, because like again,
'Cause, I mean-
you've seen the numbers, so
Right. Big Hit, because I mean, like I said before, Big Hit will suffer losses for this, and I'm sure Big Hit knows this.
yeah, maybe in their home market, then they can just focus more on their overseas market.
But we'll have to see where Big Hit goes from here. I'm
Yeah,
expecting.
at this point, it's a lot of conjecture.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to address this. I mean, they would not be a smart move if they did not address this issue.
Right.
Right. All right. So, you think it's
so-
a good time to move on to our next piece?
Yeah.
I think so.
So, the KBS has actually, with BlackPink's newest comeback, Kill This Love, it has been banned by KBS from
KBS
its
strikes
broadcast until there's going to be edits.
Yeah.
The reason being, Rose did not wear a seatbelt. That is literally the reason why it was banned.
Yeah. Rose forgot to put on her seatbelt for that, and I don't think it's actually the first time that they've banned somebody for not using a seatbelt as well.
No, it's.
I remember something about that before.
There's one other group about the seatbelt. Well, who was the group?
Was it Mamamoo or?
I don't think it was Mamamoo.
G-Idol? No, wait,
No.
G-Idol didn't have any of their videos.
No.
So either way, I do remember that there has been, groups that have violated this seatbelt law before, obviously to get a good shot, so you don't have the seatbelt in the way.
Right.
Yeah,
but
and it's not that KBS just has a thing on seatbelts. I mean, they banned for alcohol references, drug references. What was it?
Yeah, so that's actually
CPS
why Boombayah got banned. For anyone that didn't know, Boombayah got banned by KBS as well, and the whole reason for that one was for inappropriate lyrics and the reference of alcohol.
Yeah, YG is really good at getting banned by KBS.
Getting groups.
Like
welcome to the Korean banning system.
Yeah, whether it be 21 or Big Bang, and now BlackPink, this is par for the course with YG.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many other things that have been banned for, like, other reasons, like, what was it, Instagram, or was it Twitter? I know it was a social media that was mentioned in a song.
So Dean's song Instagram got banned because of the title
Of Instagram, yeah. And
because of the yeah.
And
I just wonder though, like for YG, is this kind of like a rite of passage for them? Like, does a group have to get banned by KBS to like?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think so.
Wait.
I think this is like the hazing,
Because like
it's like, oh, you want to be a YG group? Have you been banned by KBS?
Because even
really, your YG
YG
group?
himself, like back in the day with gosh, what was the group that he debuted with again? They're like the fathers of modern K-pop. Oh my God,
I don't
I'm pulling this
remember.
up right now. YG.
Oh, Sotachi and Boys.
Yeah.
So
So like they actually got hit too by the band hammer as well when they debuted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got banned. They got hit by the band hammer all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so YG, yeah, they are no stranger to this. Like from the day that modern K-pop was born, this has been their thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to segue this into with Somi's comeback because she is technically part of a subsidiary of YG with Black Label.
Oh, Black Label.
So
can't wait for Somi to also be banned by KBS.
right. I was like,
Great.
in my head, I'm thinking, oh, geez, Somi. If it's a rite of passage, how many is her like re-debut going to hit the ban hammer already? Like what?
It's pre-banned. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It's pre-banned as
they
a rite
already
of
got it ready
passage.
for her. Yep.
YG
Alright,
and
so-
YG subsidiaries ready to get the ban hammer ready for Somi.
Oh, absolutely. They're already planning it. They've already got actually the official documents signed. Yeah.
It must be banned to be part of the YG family.
Hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure YG already got the that achievement icon ready for her too.
Here's your plaque, Somi.
Like achievement unlocked, banned by KBS.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No. All right. So with Somi doing her re-debut, is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, we're just gonna call
her
it a
solo re-debut.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
That's
for her
technically what it is.
solo
Well-
re-debut. What I'm thinking something along the lines of like, oh gosh, what did I say the last time? It was CLC and what was the other group I said? I can't remember now.
I can't remember either.
Did you
But I was
mention?
thinking
But
something-
you you think it's gonna be more mature, is what
yeah,
you're saying.
more of like a mature kind of dark concept.
I'm seeing girl crush.
So I don't know. What are you thinking, Aura?
I'm thinking girl crush. Because just from a few of the things that I've seen on her Instagram, where she's definitely showing a more mature like clothing style, kind of more of a darker clothing style, I'm figuring that she is going towards a more girl crushy vibe. So it could be previews or teasers or just a vibe teaser kind of thing of potentially a girl crush. And with the current trends, girl crush.
Pink's I'm So Sick. That was the concept I was thinking of for the
Yeah.
other group. So it's kind of, I was thinking of something of a mix of like Pink's I'm So Sick and COC's No, which would lean towards what Aura was talking about with girl crush, because COC's No was definitely a girl crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pink's I'm So Sick was more of that mature concept. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What about you, Nick?
Well, I would like to see a bit of Somi's personality come into it, which would not fit well with that girl crush, because Somi is
She's bright,
almost
and
by
fun.
definition a marshmallow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know.
such a sweetheart.
With how she's responded to her haters, which is pretty hilarious, I think she can pull it off just fine.
That girl can
I mean,
throw some
yes.
shade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She has tea. Don't get me wrong. And she is perfectly fine sipping her tea and just sitting there. But I would like to see Somi's personality come out and kind of just just feel like it's a Somi song, not a Black Label song. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can kind of if in my head I'm thinking a little bit along the lines of ITZY, a little bit fun, a little bit girl crush.
But
I
independent.
think perfect. I honestly think that's exactly what I'm looking for. Is basically kind of Dalla Dalla, right?
Yeah.
Where it was, the chorus was kind of poppy, but there also was that like element of maturity with obviously with ITZY it was the rap breakdown, but.
And because Somi was part of JYP and now going to a YG subsidiary under with Teddy as the head of that subsidiary, I think she would definitely give a good mix of YG and JYP, because she's trained for a long time in JYP. She's done a lot of solo work as a trainee, was part of IOI, so.
Right.
She has that experience. She has all of that. But now she's going to fuse a little bit of girl crush. I can see her do that. By the time we release it, she's already going to have debuted. So,
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. These are. I guess these are now past predictions, but still.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as that goes, I think that like something along the lines of that, kind of showing that like, hey, this is kind of like who I am. This is the music I create. Is like that, and I mean, it's Teddy, so it's gonna be a banger.
Oh yeah. He's got pretty golden hands with this kind of stuff. And
Yeah, so it's gonna be fire. It's just like,
Somi fire.
Yeah.
it's gonna be fire, but
So then, for
I-
what you're expecting, is that what you want to see, or is that what you actually think that we're going to see?
oh, that's what I want to see.
Okay.
Honestly, Black Label has been people to produce a lot of girl crush concepts.
Yeah.
Black Label in
Yeah.
itself is pretty much all that.
Yeah.
And
especially
even if it wasn't, if Girl Crush wasn't in right now, they would still be producing
Girl crush.
Girl Crush.
Oh yeah, especially with it being Teddy, because he's with his hip hop background, and he's really good at that in that scene, the
Right.
hip hop and Girl Crush scene, because Girl Crush kind of follows more along those lines of that harder sound and imagery.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
And I think it
And
would.
so I mean,
I think it would fit very well with Somi. Like not just because of her background with JYP, not just because of her new label with YG, but also her cultural background. She's half Korean and half, I want to say, German?
Dutch.
Dutch or Canadian?
Dutch?
I don't remember.
Well, she is Canadian, but I'm pretty sure.
I think she's Dutch Canadian.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure because I know she knows how to speak Dutch.
Yeah, so like I think this is a perfect fit. Having if she does something similar to Itzy's Dollar Dollar, it would definitely fit all around her image as, you know, being a mixed race idol, being an idol that has been part of 2 different labels, as an idol who has done solo work as a trainee, who has done a cutesy concept as IOI, going into a more slightly girl crush. If she can do a girl, basically a fun girl crush, I think it would very much fit her because it shows a duality that she has always had and has always dominated in whatever she does.
So for you, Aura, is that what you want to see versus what you think we'll see?
So this is what I kind of expect. What I'm hoping for is, you know, if she has fun, I'd be happy for her. She has worked hard and she deserves to finally debut. So I'm just hoping for her to succeed. She definitely deserves it after all this time.
Right on. Yeah, as for myself, I think I would love to see more of what we saw out of her collaboration with Eric Nam with Yoo-hoo. So I don't know, because again, you know, I'm a fan of that kind of imagery, and you know, just like you said earlier, Nick, she's got that that soft marshmallow personality, and
Right.
you know, especially from what we've seen out of her before. So I think that would fall in line as well with, you know, seeing more of her and seeing her having fun with it. But considering that this is, you know, Black Label and Teddy that we're talking about, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
But you know what? Actually, Teddy does well with R&B as well. So R&B is, you know, being more of the softer side or softer accompaniment to hip hop. You know, we've seen that with Teddy's works on Taeyang's albums. So so maybe she could go to the R&B realm.
You know, everyone's laughing at us because it was like a ballad or some whatever, but we haven't seen it because obviously, you know, we're recording this before.
Yeah.
So everyone's watching and laughing at us.
Right.
We're completely wrong.
So for people who do not know, we are recording this on the 27th of April, which is what, 3-4 days before Somi's debut.
Yeah, 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days.
So we don't know what's going on. Laugh at us if we're wrong. Congratulate us if we are right for being like psychic or whatever. But yeah, I'm chalking my vote up to something very similar to Dollar Dollar. That's my vote. Fun girl crush.
Me too.
Yeah, and I'm going more along the route of like a mature, slightly girl crushy sound. So yeah, you know, whoever's closest to, you know, winner gets a cookie. You know, they go to the store and buy it themselves.
That's not much of a prize. That is a terrible prize.
All right.
That is a
So
terrible prize.
let's see. I think that's pretty much it for that topic.
Yeah.
You guys
Unless you want to buy us
shots?
cookies, you know, unless you want to buy us some cookies. But yeah, let's go to quick shots.
Oh, actually, before that, you guys want to break the news on our next game that we're gonna do?
All right.
Go for it, Nick. Go.
All right. So we have decided, since the three of us are going to be watching Produce X 101, that we would make a draft. And for this draft, we're building a team of 12, and we're going to be basically giving ourselves points based on the final ranking. And you know, we'll all be watching it all the way through, and so we're going to be doing that. That'll be in a quick hits thing. So that'll be in its own separate episode.
Yeah, and for those of you who are familiar with fantasy sports, this is exactly that. We're doing a fantasy idol league. So.
Yep, exactly.
So, just as full warning, we may have already released the video as well. Considering when this releases, we may have already released the fantasy. The produce fantasy thing before
fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're watching this video and you have not watched that video yet, go ahead and check it out.
We'll link it somewhere. Description below.
Down there.
Yeah. Right. Go watch that.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So on to the quick shots. Take it away, Nick.
All right. Well, we have a lot of quick shots going on. So, first off, Wekimeki comeback, right? Wekimeki is set to come back in May, and a lot of people are really excited about that. You know, being that it's been a minute since their last comeback.
Yep. So I know I'm looking forward to it. I think all of you guys are looking forward to it as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially considering a few of the fellow IOI members that are in Wekimeki is basically having a comeback with Somi in the same month. So it's gonna be the month of IOI. Yep. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right. So Brown Eyed Girls, they have announced they'll come back. It's been what, 2-3 years?
No.
2-3 years?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Wow.
4 years.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. So yeah, all you Brown Eyed Girl fans, you know, Brown Eyed Girls are finally making their comeback.
Yeah. There's hope. There's hope for that fandom.
There is hope.
All
But
right.
now,
So
Jihoon.
up next is me. Oh my girl, they got their comeback announced for the 8th. It's gonna be a full album, full length album for this comeback, and they've already released some teaser shots, and I'm definitely loving it, loving what I'm seeing, and I'm so excited. So for those of you who don't know, Oh My Girl is like my old group. So along with Twice and IZ*ONE. And up next is back to Nick.
All right, on to the sad news portion of these quick shots. Hello Venus has officially announced that Fantasio has officially announced that they will be disbanding following their contract expiring on May 3rd.
And how long have they been?
that soon?
Yeah, that soon.
Wow.
They're basically disbanding immediately, which has a lot of, the fans of the group obviously very sad. I mean, Hello Venus was formerly a joint venture, right?
Right.
Yes.
Between Pledis and Fantasio,
Yeah.
but it's been a while. They debuted in 2012.
Yep, 2012, and then their last comeback was what, 2014? No, actually, I take that back. 2016.
No,
right?
Correct. Yeah, 2016 was I believe their last comeback.
Oh,
and
2017. So, yeah, it's still been a while.
Right.
And everyone is very sad. Everyone's wiggling in sadness at the moment.
Oh, I'll definitely make that video.
Oh yeah, still give them love. By the way,
Yeah.
still a good video.
I guess
All right,
I will.
so-
I guess I'll start with the other sad news. As of this recording, Sashihara Rino from HKT48, the same group that Miyawaki Sakura and Yabuki Nako of IZ*ONE is graduating. Today is her last concert and the last day that she's going to be a singer. While she is still going to be part of the entertainment business, she is no longer going to be a singer. So, she is the one who basically inspired Nako to become an idol. She helped guide Sakura in HKT48. So, she is one of the big reasons why Sakura and Nako are where they are, And, oh wow,
Right,
I'm starting to choke up a little.
so you said she's not going to be a singer anymore, but she's going to be in the entertainment industry still.
Yeah.
What is she going to be focusing on? Like acting or
So
producing or writing?
She's been in variety shows. She is actually also I wouldn't say producer. She's basically has her own idol groups too, similar to Akimoto, the producer for AKB. So she's basically a producer for her own two idol groups called, I know one of them is called like Love Equals or something like that. We'll post pictures of the groups here or somewhere. But she is basically going to become a producer and a personality, television personality. Before I finish, she did also get a chance to see... So Yabuki Nako and Miyawaki Sakura aren't going to be performing for her last stage, but she did get to also see them before she finally left. So just wanted to finish off on a high note. She did get to see her juniors before leaving. So yeah, yay for that.
Alrighty. Alright, so before we wrap this up, Nick, you got any last words?
We definitely had a lot of news come over, like, since we last did a video.
Yeah.
But I think, good news comes with the bad. But these are, a lot of great things have come out. Fancy and Somi's come back. So everybody be excited for that, please. Give Somi a lot of love. Give Fancy a lot of love. Everyone that's coming back, give them a lot of love too.
Yep.
Yes, they all definitely deserve our love. So, that being said, I think it's a good time to close this episode. Aura, you want to close it?
Yeah. So thank you for listening. Please join us again. Please like, comment, subscribe. Join us on Discord. Show every girl group that we talked about for some love. Wish the best of luck to the members of Hello Venus and Sashi Harurino in their future endeavors. And yeah, we're just gonna say bye now. Later.
Alright, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.